So it's up to them with their wealth and money and power and an elitist attitude to decide how many people should be on the earth.
Right.
But that's God's choice, not humans.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things we're hearing a lot in the news nowadays is the current health care bill.
Yeah.
And you are very passionate about that because there can be some very negative effects because of this bill as it relates to abortion.
We could have negative fallout, especially if something called the public option is passed. And when President Obama says the word abortion is not in the bill, no, it isn't. The word euthanasia, the killing of the elderly or the infirm, is not in the bill. But if there's not specific language that says abortion will not occur, euthanasia on any term, including reproductive rights or death with dignity, it will not occur with tax dollars. Strong language needs to be there to prohibit those actions, because if that does not happen, we can end up with a health care plan that funds abortion. And so I'm 100% for a health care plan that will serve America, but it can't serve America if it's killing Americans.
Right, right. How can we reach out to the young people that find themselves in these particular situations, like single parenthood, young moms, sometimes 12, 13 years old, finding themselves pregnant? How can we reach out to them?
Well, Kim, this is a little tricky, and some of your viewers might question my reasoning. But parents, grandparents, don't fear television like you're looking at television today. Find out what they're looking at. Maybe even look at it for a minute if you can take it with them to see. They have a thing called Twitter where they tweet and they can send something. It's not even emails anymore, but messages on their phones. Facebook, YouTube, and find out what they're looking at. And Grandma, ask your kids or grandkids to pick up their little camera and video you talking to them and ask them to put you on Facebook with them. And so, we can't really fear technology, because that's where we're going to meet our young people. But the best place to meet young people is around the dining room table, in prayer, with a good meal. And mothers and grandmas and dads, if you want me to tell you how to go buy the rotisserie chicken from the store and put it in your own little pot and warm it up and do the quick flash vegetables and put it on a nice plate and sit down with your family and talk to them.
Now, do you think that Roe v. Wade will ever be overturned? And if so, what do you think it's going to take?
Roe v. Wade will very likely be overturned in my lifetime. I pray that it does. I have 3 children in law school who want to work to make that happen. But while we're waiting for that to happen, let's make abortion unthinkable. Absolutely unthinkable. Women who feel that they have no other choice, and I felt like that one time. But let's make it so that there's a nurturing, loving, serving community that will help our young women and will help our dads be ready to be fathers.
Yes. Yes, lastly, Dr. King, we saw this past year the first African-American president in the United States, and many said at the time that was really the fulfillment of the dream of your uncle. Now, 9 months into his presidency, can you just maybe share your thoughts on really just the whole thing? Pretty incredible.
I'd be happy to do that. I pray, and at our church, Believers Bible Christian Church, under the leadership of the senior pastor and the First Lady, we pray for President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, Sasha, and Malia every day. And we ask that God will guide them and that godly wisdom will come. That actually happened to Nebuchadnezzar. At first, he thought he was bigger than God, and he ended up eating grass for a few years, and then he began to glorify God. So nothing is impossible. I believe his election was part of a possible dream, but it was not the ultimate solution. Only that will come from the Lord. So we need to pray for the president and tell the president we don't agree with abortion, we don't agree with euthanasia, the destruction of marriage and families, and we can do that and still pray for him.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Dr. King, thank you so much for coming and being with us, and thank you for all that you're doing to, just ensure the sanctity of life here in America.
Thank you.
Thanks.